With Userzoom, it is a software as a service application, and as I said, it does many things. But fundamentally, it's about testing online websites and mobile and tablet apps. So prototypes is one of the things a lot of our clients do when they're redesigning their websites, and they can test them in Userzoom as well. So the two examples I want to give you today is really obviously focusing on purely mobile. We have a task-based, what we call remote unmoderated usability testing, whereby we are recruiting from panels or from your own customer lists, hundreds if not thousands of people to simultaneously do tasks on the website that you want to understand how the user behavior and how the success metrics are actually being achieved by real users. And then I'm going to take you through an example of a native app, which a client of ours did some insight on their beta version before they pushed it out into the full launch. Okay, as we only have about 20 minutes in a session, I'm going to be quite top level, so obviously come and see me if you want to have more detail later on. Okay, so what's the methodology? So task-based mobile usability testing. Context is king when it comes to mobile devices. You know, the usability testing in the lab is one methodology. It's very qualitative in its nature, but it does reduce that ability to get large statistical sample sizes to give you that insight. So with Userzoom Mobile, you have the ability to invite hundreds, if not thousands of people to come in to a study, which is initiated from our Userzoom survey app. We call it a survey app, but it's much cleverer than a survey mechanism. There's no code needed. Yeah, they download the app from the App Store and they initiate the study, and we call the URLs to be tested, and we do lots of clever tracking and video session replay of their browser while they're interacting with that website. Android and iOS are the compatibility that we have. So we're collecting success and failure metrics, efficiency, effectiveness, so could they achieve the task? If so, were they satisfied? If not, what problems did they encounter? Time on task, page views, clicks, etc. A whole host of data which is presented in a way which I'll show you where you can pull out those issues and ultimately act on improving your website. Okay, so this example I'm going to show you, I've put together demo data because I can't really show you too much client data, but the hypothesis is, for what I'm going to show you, is if somebody's using the IKEA mobile web site to find a product, yeah, do they search or do they use the browsing? Yeah, what's their perception of the brand before and after using the site? Ultimately, can they find what they want? Are they successful? And time. Yeah, how much time did it take them? We've talked about mobile and people using it in a different context. So ultimately, people want to move faster through websites, certainly on the mobile, and achieve their goals. Okay. So once somebody's been invited into a Userzoom study, they're taken to the App Store, they download the app. This is the invite which you would send out to people, and we'll let this run, and I'll show you how a study runs in real life. So the ability to ask upfront questions, you can filter your data later on these results. Obviously, if you wanted to, you can completely reskin, so it doesn't have to be branded Userzoom. Okay, so now we're going to take them into one single task, which is to find a specific item of furniture. Our Userzoom moderator bar drops below the screen and can be pulled up as needed. So behind the scenes, we're capturing behavioral data, and we're recording this browser of this individual during this task. So in this study, we only have a small sample size. Usually they have much larger data, but for the purpose of demos, this is sufficient. So we're going to the results. So ultimately, we can detect automatically which device and screen resolution they're using. Within the upfront demographic information, we can apply filters, should we wish to this data. And then on that individual task, we're aggregating the metrics to understand success, 59% versus 41% non-success on task. Efficiency, The mean time to complete this task is 2 minutes, 2 seconds, 8 page views, and 57 clicks, with a maximum time of 4 minutes, 46 seconds. So you have all this data aggregated, which makes that analysis much easier for you. Equally, on non-success, we have further information to help you understand time on task for the failure of the task. You might have saw it earlier, we asked them some upfront questions on brand perception. And what's quite interesting is when you typically do this type of research and people struggle with tasks, their perception of brand can be affected. Adjectives can increase on positive, they can also decrease on the negative. Okay. So in addition, the next layer of data we have is the ability to generate what we call behavioral data in the form of clickstream of the URLs. I'm going to just simplify this data down. Which again, if you've applied your filters, you can look at people who were, in effect, unsuccessful. And we can see the journey that people have been taking from the home page to achieve that success. Some have been using search, some have been browsing, and ultimately they will get to a point where you can analyze that data and see how behavior is occurring. The next layer of data we have is what we call the video session replay. Again, we have this data on video. Quite rightly, most people do not want to be spending hours looking at masses of video. So we've simplified it to be one video is one person on one task, and that's linked to the success and failure. So you can choose which video you want to look at to help you uncover those issues. So we'll just play one. And I'll speed it up a little bit for you. So we capture obviously the search items that they're using. We're also the gesturing, the browsing, the scrolling, and the clicking. Okay. So that's an example of task-based, remote, or moderated testing of mobile web products. Now, going back to my presentation, I'm now going to take you through a different example of methodology within the same Userzoom platform. So this is a real use case example of a client of ours. They are a B2B online shopping, focusing mainly at businesses. It's a cash and carry business. They operate internationally, so they have a full multi-channel proposition. They developed a new app to assist with the shopping experience. Before launching this app, they wanted to make sure that they could iron out any issues, so they came to Userzoom and asked us to assist with this. So the key elements we wanted to focus on was the performance of the app, the profile of the people who were using it, and what they were using it for, and if they liked it, ultimately. It was an intercept, ultimately, inserted within the native app, which allowed us to trigger to a proportion of users. Over a period of 4 weeks, this was purely in Italy, we achieved 800 completes. The click-through rate from intercept was 8%, which is quite high. Looking at, in general, intercept of voice of customer propositions. What was even more impressive was the 70% conversion of those people that did opt in, completing through to the end. Okay, so the goals. Who are my users? Yeah, what are they coming to do, and why they use the mobile app? Yeah, it's all about designing the questions in a way where they're non-intrusive, and it's short, and it's not going to take them a long period of time to answer, but yet still getting this rich data which can help inform your future development. Okay, so when using the app, we were intercepting them. Obviously, this is in Italian. And from that 800 responses, this is the type of data we managed to understand for this client. Bear in mind, this is still a beta proposition for them, so they had the opportunity to react to this data, improve, and then go into full alpha launch. So the main intent was for people searching for information about products and prices, to assist with their multi-channel in-store experience, and ultimately then buying offline. Functionalities such as finding a store, what special offers are available and deals are available for them to buy offline, and what type of prices are they looking at. However, the thing about research is you want to uncover the silver bullets which can help you improve. So we were asking open verbatim as well, and quite a high proportion, at least a quarter of the users, had trouble understanding the information that's been presented to them. They couldn't find what they were looking for, the content wasn't quite as they expected, and it was quite confusing structure. So they had the ability to improve the content structure and the findability with this very, very quick piece of research. Okay. So the type of feedback they were getting is the app is easy to use, 46% completely agreed with that statement. The app is useful, 45%. The overall experience was great, and the app looks beautiful, which wasn't very high. So again, this is good insight to improve an app. What we have is a culture of apps being pushed out, native apps, without this research being done in a beta form, and this gives you the ability to react and improve, and get the right proposition in the hands of your customers based on the insight that you get. Okay, we also had behavioural data to support that. So, in conclusion, if we know our users, what they want, and how they're using the app, and who they are, and what conversion rate, if it's a purchase ability within that app, we can improve. You can address these challenges and improve. There is methodologies which allow you to do this, and conversion rate is ultimately, whether it be conversion to go offline or conversion to purchase online, it's the ROI associated with doing the research. Get the insight up front, then react and move forward. So why must your app be awesome? Well, users have high expectations. There's no real user interface standards that we have at the moment. There's some great examples out there. So there's a whole variety of user interface challenges that need to be addressed. And most organizations not alone. Everybody is struggling with the same conundrum, is how can we do the research with real people on our native app or our mobile website? So there is solutions out there to help you do this. And it's all about making sure that the app is as good as it can be before it's pushed out and people starting to rate it. Because if you're pushing out a solution which is not as good as it could be, you're going to get negative reviews on the app stores. So make sure it's useful, it's usable, and beautiful. Thank you.